Like there's two parts to this three principles that I find for myself. And it's one that's what you're talking about now is like questioning the thoughts, creating that more space. And then there's the insight, when you get that insight that just changes you straight away, where you don't have to do any work, where you don't have to question or anything. It just happens,
Yes.
you know?
Absolutely.
But I feel like, some people will get it straight away. Some people will hear something and their whole life changes in one thought. Other people, like me, I've had like mini ones, constantly
Yes,
mini
that's
insights. And I think the more we question our thoughts, the more space we create for that insight to come in.
yes. Well, and in the more opportunities it seems like we're given to practice our understanding. It's
Mm,
like all of a sudden we're given opportunities where we would have behaved this way. We would have seen it as life happening to us.
mm,
But every opportunity we're given to recognize how our experience is coming from the inside. And as we start to become aware of that and notice that, it's like we keep getting more and more opportunities. And some opportunities are wonderful and help us grow, and some opportunities are kind of a smack in the face. And it's like, ooh, yeah, I should have saw that just a minute before.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
But it's like every
Oh,
time we take that opportunity to see thought as thought and not as reality, that knowing gets stronger
mm,
and it gets deeper. And then pretty soon, we're not given these little things to practice. It's like then something big will happen and we're not the person we were a year ago. We're not the person we were 6 months ago because we've taken all of the opportunities life has given us to understand where our experience is coming from. And that's
mm.
built that faith. I call it
Yes.
faith because you can't see what you're believing in.
Yeah.
It's a
And I
trust.
love that yeah, I love that you said that because the last, I don't know, 3, 4 months, I've really started to trust the universe, trust that I'm being guided in the right way. Whereas before I wanted to control it all the time. And I was like, I need to know the answer, I need to know why. But I've really started to kind of like fall back and just trust that mine is taking me exactly where I need to go. And like I used to feel like I just want one of those big insights that just change my life instantly. But I realized that I'm a helper. I'm a coach for other people. If I'd had that one insight, I wouldn't have been able to help people who don't get those big insights, that just get the popcorn sized ones. And because I've experienced that, I can now help other people. And there will be some people in there that just get it in one insight. But I love this is another like this is more kind of spiritual, but I get a lot of synchronicities now. Like a lot. It's so crazy. And even though some of them are so small, I'm like, wow, like that's just not coincidence.
Yep.
It's magic. And it was like the other
mhm.
day, right? I can't quite remember what it is.
Hey, quick pause. If you're enjoying this, it would mean so much to us if you'd hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. The more people this reaches, the more folks remember it's okay to be okay. Now, back to the podcast. See ya.
It was something about change, like stepping up into change. And I was starting to doubt myself. I was starting to feel fear. And then Pete sent me a video, and I only had to look at the title. It was about change. I was like, what the fuck? you know? And I watched it and I was like, yep, okay. And then I did something else. I went upstairs to go to the toilet and I can't remember what I was doing. I was on my phone. I think I must have been recording something or I can't remember what it was, but just as I was doing it, the light started flickering. Literally right above me, it started flickering. I was like, okay, you know, and I get these little confirmations all the time. And it's so magical when you learn to trust, when you learn to let go and just let life flow through you and let it steer you in the direction. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still impatient at times. I'm still like, what's happening next? But especially this last month, I've really learned how to let go. And it's just, oh, it just feels so amazing. You know, it just feels so, I'm going to say that word again, freeing.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. It's freeing and weightless and just absolutely, yeah, amazing. I love Mind. I'm going back a little bit to Jen and talking about, I always said once you had a big shift, when or even a bunch of ahas, once you see differently, let me put it that way, whether either way it happens for you. Mind has a sense of humor, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Sometimes, like Jen was saying, it's not so funny, but it's
Mhm.
almost like, you have a shift, you see things differently, and then mind is like, all right, here's your first test. How you gonna handle this one? Here's your next one. What you gonna do? And it's not like what's the coolest thing about the principles and wisdom stepping in is that you don't have to think about it. When mind tests you, it's not like I sat back and was like, "Oh, okay, shit. Okay, let me think this. Let me think. It's automatic. It's like an autopilot because it's your true essence. And there's no thinking about your true essence. Your true essence happens. And so, but I could recognize every time I had a little test for mine. And I was like, funny, so hilarious, love it, great.
But
But
you know as well, like it's when you've been testing, like, okay, I know that. Like it's not like you're completely conscious of it,
yeah,
you
and it's
know?
cool.
It
And it,
is cool. It's so much fun. Like I see problems as fun now. Like there is some problems that are more of a struggle for me.
right.
But even that I know that it's serving me somehow. You know, I
Yeah.
know like I don't just believe, I